Today I'm going to show you how I made a leather hip bag. Now, you kind of have to bear with me a little bit because a lot of the footage was lost, so it's going to kind of jump around a little bit, but hopefully you'll get the idea. Here's the leather with my basic pattern laid out. So these two pieces represent the back panel of the bag, so they're opposites, so that the flush sides can be sealed together. And this panel is the part that all the pouches attach to. These D-rings and tabs are going to be put on each of the four corners of the back panel so that I can attach straps at a later time. So let's go ahead and get those pouches made. I started off with two pouches of the same size, which are very basic. Just a back panel for each pouch, a flap that folds over, and then the gusset for the pouches. Everything's cut out, and these pieces are ready to be dyed. This entire project's going to be dyed just a flat black. All the stitch lines are knocked in, all the spaces for the rivets are attached, the buckles are assembled, as are the little keeper pieces. And here you can see how I've assembled two identical pouches. Get a close-up here of how the buckles and straps attach, or the closures rather, and then that X on them is how they're going to attach to the panel. Here I have the gusset piece attached to the back panel of the pouch. It's a little extended at the top, so I've got fold-over tabs to keep anything from falling out from the inside. Stitch lines are all punched in, and I'll show you on this one here. I've already attached some smaller D-rings to the side of it, just as an accent and as additional attachment points for whatever accessories I might need. Part of this project is a dedicated pouch for glasses, and I want that to be round. So here I'm working on the bottom of that round pouch, and this is how I made it. Just went ahead and wet formed it right around the bottom of an old bottle of glue that I had. And once everything sets up and dries, this is what we end up with. Just pop that off, get rid of the zip tie, and there we go. I'll trim off all the excess, and this will serve as the bottom of my round pouch. So here's that round pouch in progress. I've attached the sides of it, measured out so that it fits a pair of glasses, reading or sunglasses perfectly. So here's a better look at that X pattern I was talking about earlier, how it's on the back of the pouch there, and I've also transferred it to the back panel. So that's how I'm going to attach it. I'm going to attach it by sewing it to the back panel, and then I will additionally rivet it for extra security. And that's how it's going to work out. And here you can see the glasses pouch, the cylinder pouch, and an additional pouch I may or may not use because at this point I discovered that I will not be able to use the two matching tall pouches. There's just not enough room for them. So I got to go back to the drawing board, but I'm going to keep the one that I've already got those mini D-rings attached to. Since I couldn't use that extra large pouch, I went ahead and made two smaller pouches. So I'll have one large pouch and then two smaller pouches of pretty much identical design in the place of the other large pouch. We'll see how it turns out. And here all the pieces of the smaller pouches are ready to go under dye. At this point, it was time to start putting the pouches on the back panel before I started closing everything up. And you can see I've got the larger pouch there and the cylindrical glasses pouch, both attached to the back panel and attached to each other again for extra security. I apologize for the terrible light on this part here. This is part of the recovered footage, but hopefully you can see I've got the main pouch assembled, the side cylindrical pouch attached as well, no lid on it yet, and those two smaller pouches at the top are getting ready to be sealed up. Back under better light, we can see how everything's coming along. There's the cylindrical pouch and the way that I attached it. There's the two smaller pouches. Those are all sealed up, ready to go. Everything's coming along pretty nicely. It's definitely been a work in progress, and a lot of it's been designed kind of on the fly. The bag was looking a little plain for my taste, so I have done a couple modifications here. You can see the D-rings there on that original larger pouch, but I've also attached a set of D-rings across the middle of the panel, and then a spring clip for a set of keys or something like that. Say you were going to use this while you were riding a motorcycle or something, stop to get gas or whatever, you could always just quickly clip your key there. Don't have to worry about losing it, clip it right back off and you're ready to go. So at this point I was finally able to attach the back panel to the front panel, and you can see all those D-rings I talked about originally with those tabs in each one of the corners. I'll attach straps to those later. I've got the stitch line all knocked in. I'm going to hand stitch this all the way around. See the side here, and then I'll touch up all those spots where I'm going to need extra dye. There's what the back looks like, just smooth leather. Everything looks good. You don't have any rivets coming through, no sew marks coming through. Everything's looking really solid. And overall the bag is very sturdy. Might do a little bit of a touch up on each one of those straps up there, round them out a little bit more. I don't like how they're squared off there at the top. But overall, it's coming along. It's going to require a little detail work, but it'll get there. I went back and took the time to dye the insides of all the pouches, so you can't see any of the raw leather, even from the side. And I think everything's looking a lot better than it was. So other than attaching a strap at the bottom to go around the leg, and then a couple small little keeper tabs, for right now at least, at the top, I think this thing's good to go. How about I show you what it looks like when you're wearing it. So here you can see how this bag is designed to sit on your hip, just like that. Stays out of the way and would allow you to carry anything you need. Again, if you were on a motorcycle or a bike or whatever. Very solid, very sturdy. It's attached to the belt around my waist, and it's also attached by a belt strap that I have running around my leg. Overall, I like it a lot. I think it turned out, well, better than I thought it would, considering all the problems that I had when I was making it. And in a pinch, if you want to know how quickly you can take this thing off, it's fairly simple. I've got one buckle here at the leg, that comes off, 2 snaps up here, and the entire bag comes right off. It makes it very convenient if you had to stow it someplace in a hurry. Well, that's the end of the hip bag project. I think it turned out pretty decent. It was overcomplicated by some poor decision making throughout this process, but at the end of the day, I think it works. Hopefully it gave you some ideas of what to do and what not to do if you decide to design a hip bag, and if it did, you know I'd appreciate that thumbs up like. Follow us on Instagram to see what projects don't make it to video, and maybe, just maybe, I'll see you on the next video. If you enjoy videos about the randomness of our amazing world, consider clicking on the globe to subscribe, or maybe checking out one of the other videos right here.